To our next demo in RESTpoint. In our last demo, our iteration, we showed how you use response override, and we created a path called best stock to start showing how you can override the output. We have a default JSON output, but you can override it to fit your needs. On this section, we're going to show you how to create a webhook. And if you take a look at our webhook here, we're going to create one for Slack. So if we create one that's called, let's say, new stock webhook notification. So anytime a new stock is added into our list of stocks, let's send it a notification to Slack. So maybe the team wants to know when new stocks are added, or the managers want to know what new stocks are provided. So you would add in your web, this is using Slack URL, but it's just an example of a URL where you can post information. So we're going to create here called a new stock notification, and we'll call that Slack. I'm going to add the webhook. So what that means is that whenever we're going to put in a body here, and the body for the Slack is to send a post with a property called text, and we're going to say added a new stock, and we're going to call this object name. So I'm going to click save on this, or update. Now, if we go into our, you'll see here, that's the little line of code that we put in here, where we would add that into notify. So where our webhook would typically go is, we'll go to our path, and we're going to go to, okay, our stocks. So we're going to come into our logic for stocks on the post, where we already do have some logic on the pre-request. That's before it goes into the database. We can do some validation in that. But after it has gone into the database, this is where we would send out the notification, because the database has been updated with the new stock and we can notify. So I can use my script helper here, which is called a webhook. And you'll see here, it calls the webhook Slack, but I already have it copy and pasted in from the webhook page. So what you'll see is webhooks, get webhook, new stock notification, and post, so that when I do an update, now when we call and add a new stock, and it passes the preconditions, it adds the stock in, this will then be called. Now when I create my Slack, you can pass in the string here to post, but it's easier if you just put in your body here, and when inside, you have access to all the variables in scope. So in the context of stock, item, any of the common stocks, any of these variables you would have access to. So we have one that's automatically injected called object. If you see here, object is put in there. So we're just going to use that one in our new stock notification, and you'll see that's what we used. So the webhook inherits all the information that's already in the context, and I'm just going to say add the new stock. So this comes in handy when you want to make webhooks like Slack, or if you just want to integrate to other APIs. It's great for integrating, especially when you're prototyping that needs to integrate into other services. You can really kind of do it for real, because you are sending real posts, real data over to your systems, other integration services. So that concludes this demo, where we wanted to show a little idea of how you can start even getting higher fidelity prototypes using webhooks. Thank you.